It's a really special talk for me because I don't find myself on a stage very often. It's the first time I'm being on a stage and addressing an audience like this because I'm always behind the camera, right? And my life's biggest enemy has been public speaking. So I am really nervous right now, but help me to overcome my fear, my biggest enemy. But I'm really grateful for this fear that I've had that enabled me to be a storyteller. So let me do exactly what I do the best, narrate a story to you guys. So this story is about a 15-year-old young boy who just found his passion for clicking pictures. And obviously the first thing he did was buy a DSLR that every other guy would do. He went and bought his DSLR, used to go on streets of Bombay, captured those emotions, and expressed his feelings through those pictures by posting them on Facebook. And soon after that, an opportunity knocked his door. And that opportunity was an internship to click photos at nightclubs. It's really cool for a 15-year-old boy to go to nightclubs, right? That's such a thing to show off with your friends. But there were a lot of challenges. Being a young kid, just starting your career, probably not your career, it was his passion. He had to travel by trains because you could not afford a cab back home. And he often found himself rushing to catch the last train. And how many of you guys have traveled by the last train ever? Lovely, a lot of people, that's amazing. And every time he caught that train, he made sure to get the window seat. Best seat in the train, right? And he noticed something, that all the shopkeepers would literally shut their store the minute the train entered the station. And he used to wonder why. Nobody really gave this a lot of thought. But in the end, he looked at it as how all the shopkeepers kept believing till the last minute of their life, of the day, hoping that there would be one more person who they could sell something to before they had to actually leave. And it was beautiful to see them shut their stores, catch the train, and he used to nicely observe all of these people and learn a lot from them. So this part about him believing, learning from them how to keep hoping till the last minute, stayed with him for a really long time. And then he finally quit his job of working at nightclubs, thinking that he had mastered the art to open his first company. And what would a 16-year-old boy do to start a company? Print visiting cards, thinking that that's all you need to run a business. And that's exactly what he did. Just added photography in front of his name, thinking he's gonna go out there and be the best out there. He did manage to get a few clients, but was it enough to actually survive? Not really. And that's when he tasted his first failure of his life. That visiting cards are not enough until and unless you know who to give them to and how to reach to the people that you want to give them to. And this was around the same time that he had to get himself in a undergraduate college. And he was very sure about the college that he wanted to go to. Now, it wasn't the situation that he the college that he wanted to go to was not taking students only based on their merits, but they had to go through a round of interviews. And this was the first time that his visiting card actually worked. And he showed it off with pride at a business college. I started my first company at the age of 16. I deserve to be here. But he did not get in. It did not work so much for him. But they offered him an internship. They wanted to observe him for 3 months. And he quickly said yes, because that was his best shot at getting in the college, right? In the college that he really wanted to get into. Without thinking, he went there for 3 months, every day of his life, which he could have spent chilling with his friends at home. But he decided to go out there and make sure to get what he wants. And this was the time when his parents really started to worry, because no other college would accept him. Not because of his merit, but because the colleges stopped accepting students for the year. And the parents really thought that he's not going to make it. He's going to have to drop a year. But the kid kept believing. He had that faith in himself. I will get in here. I will get in here. And soon after, he actually did get accepted to that college. And after that failure of his first company, this really gave him that confidence that if I believe in myself, I can get anything that I want. Now, soon after he joined the college offered him to work for them, because they wanted someone to capture all their events, just like those young photographers in this room. And he gladly took it up, and he gave it his all. And obviously that's the best thing that he could ask for, because he never wanted to be in the classrooms. He wanted to learn outside the classrooms. That's where the real learning is, right? Learning from faculties by interacting with them rather than reading from books. That's the kind of knowledge he believed in. And exactly 2 years after he got accepted, there was a parent-teachers meeting. And the dean of the college called him an angel. Because in those 2 years, his hard work got the college to be ranked as #1 on digital platforms, to a level where a guest would walk in and 2 hours later, they would have a YouTube video on their page, on their social media, and all the parents were surprised that how can you do it so fast? And this was the moment when he got even more confidence in his life, when he started believing in himself even more. With all that validation that he got, seeing his parents in tears, not the bad ones, but the happy ones. That's always the best feeling for a kid to see, right? So this was the time when he thought, I should start a company again. Definitely with a better name. And this time he wanted to do things a little differently. He did not want to do this alone. So he thought of getting a partner who could support him. And he managed to find an amazing partner who had just come back from Vancouver, trying to establish his base in India. Both of them were aligned with their thoughts. They kept believing. They knew the industry had a lot of potential, and they could make it, even as young bloods working in this industry, which is so hard to get into. They did manage to lock a few clients in the first few months. Obviously not high ticket clients, but they kept believing one day they would get where they want to. And the kid remembers this moment where him and his partner were driving back from Malabar Hill. They stopped at the Marine Drive signal, and both of them were lost, staring at a banner, thinking when would they get their first banner, because that's a great achievement, right? And soon after that came the moment. Not one banner, not 10 banners, but they had their banners all across the country. And what a feeling it is, right? You step out of your house, every 2 minutes you spot a banner. That is your work, which you proudly look at. And after that, the kid thought, this is it. I have made it. I have officially entered the industry. And then they kept going. Everything was amazing. They went on to do multiple more projects with the biggest OTT platform in the world, Netflix. And unfortunately, the lockdown hit. And what could you do as a photographer, as a content production house? There's nothing that you can do till the time you can't step outside of your house. But the boy kept learning, kept exploring, and made sure to go through that entire phase without any money. And after all that success he had seen, there's suddenly such a big downfall that you can't do anything. You can't do the things that you love. The lockdown finally opened up, but he had to let go of his partner because he wanted to go his way. And this is when the boy decided to go all by himself. He was scared because of the failure from his first company. But again, believed that if I could do it the second time, I can do it for the third time as well. Without a partner, maybe. Let's give it a try. But things did not work out for him, unfortunately. Could be anything. The market was really bad, or probably he was not doing enough. But then came a very special person in his life. Exactly when he was thinking about quitting the industry after giving it 8 years of his life, that special person just said one thing: I think you should give it one last shot. At first, the boy was very irritated. Can't you understand what am I trying to say? Is this safe for my future? But the kid went back home and gave it a thought again. And came to a conclusion that maybe it's not too bad to give it one last shot, right? It wouldn't be fair. Just like what he had learned from his days back in his train rides. I want to make sure I give it my all so that I don't have any regrets when I go to sleep at night. And he gave it one last shot. But one very good learning he had was that he does amazing when he has people around him supporting him. So he went on to find amazing people around him, and he did manage to get two very amazing people in his life who believed in his project. And they started working again. They started reviving the company again. And the purpose was not for money. The purpose was to live their dream life because they loved what they were doing on set. And they kept going. They did projects which were worth 1,000 rupees a day. Imagine working for 1,000 rupees a day after 8 years in your career. But something kept them going. They knew that to-do moment will come again in their lives. And it did come. Out of nowhere, they were approached by a brand to make a video with one of the very well-known influencers, Bani J. How many of you guys know Bani J? Not a lot of people here. Interesting. But that video went viral. And after that, every meeting that these guys would enter and speak about this project, there was a very high chance that they already had seen the video somewhere. How amazing is that, right? And after this, they did not stop. They went from working in their editor's bedroom to getting their first office ever. From being a team of just 4 people to being a team of 14 people. Clocking their first ever 8 figures. And the boy did not even know what those 8 figures look like. And can you believe all of this happened after the boy was convinced to give it one last shot? And the boy is standing right here in front of all of you guys. And the boy would not have been here if he did not give it that one last shot or believed in himself. And that's exactly what I want to say to all of you guys today. Don't stop believing in yourself. Love yourself for who you are. And sooner or later, it's all gonna pay off. Just keep believing, keep pushing yourself, and don't listen to the world. Do what you want to do in life. And I am sure all of you guys are gonna reach great heights. And it's amazing that I've overcome the biggest fear of my life today. And thank you for being an amazing audience. I hope that I added some value to all of you guys today. Thank you so much. Thank you, TEDxKESS, for having me. Help me